G'day guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be reviewing the Sydney and Cats game at the SCG, and as we can see, Sydney won by 30 points in the end. Interesting game, weird game it must be said. Yeah, how it got there was potentially unexpected. The result was probably expected. How it got there was definitely a roller coaster, as we can see in the scoreworm there. Overall, going into the game, I was thinking, Sydney probably get a win by 8-9 goals, and ultimately they end up with a 5-goal win, with a couple, very very late, which made the scoreboard look a little bit worse than perhaps what the game deserved, but. Yeah, I mean, we started off like a house on fire, as we can see there. Our pressure was up. Our intercept mark game was terrific early on. Every time Sydney kicked it, it just somehow went straight back to us. So, obviously, that perceived pressure and just general pressure on the ball forced the Swans into a bit more of a turnover game. And we were able to, obviously, hit the scoreboard in a big way early on in the piece. And, we kicked the first 6 goals of the game. Sydney missed a couple. But, I mean, as far as the game goes, I'm very impressed with the first quarter and a half. And then probably from there, really, it's a bit of same old. But, I don't want to focus only on the negatives because we did a lot of great work, especially early in the game. And I've been critical of, out the way we started games. So, to go away from home, and then Sydney obviously off the bye a little bit, still in holiday mode, took them a little bit to sort of switch on as well and ramp up the pressure on their side. But look, our tackling was insanely good. Their pressure rating, I think, was about 231 in that first quarter, so I was kind of questioning, where's this been? That was a real highlight. We're using the ball really well, had some good chains, good ball movement off half-back, and, winning contests inside forward 50, converting on the scoreboard. I mean, that's a good recipe to winning games, but, the big question going into that quarter time break was, this is a great start, didn't expect this. Sydney, look a little bit vulnerable, but good luck keeping that pressure up for 4 quarters was almost the narrative, and that proved to be the case. The last quarter, a bit of a blowout with, both teams just all out offense. I would suggest both trying to win the game. But, it's that second term, yet again, where we kind of, let a team back in. It's almost becoming the next premiership quarter for us, and we keep losing it. We should have had more of a buffer than what we did have. We had a 6-goal lead. We kept bombing it inside 50. Sydney kept intercept marking it, so they were more switched on to that in that second term. Then, they got a bit of confidence. They had a few chains that, went appropriately for them. Amadi was huge up forward. And then they evaporated the lead within 5 minutes. So what took us a quarter and a half took the Swans all but 5 minutes to sort of get that lead back with the elite midfield that we know that they have. So and then from there, really, it was can't really say it was an arm wrestle, but we were hanging on once they hit the lead, which was sort of in that late in that third term. So I mean, if you say you're in front of the Swans for almost 3 quarters, and then you run out of gas, and Sydney, fresh legs, late, get the job done at home. I mean, we did similar to Richmond last week, So, that's how it all goes. But, that final term, we obviously threw the kitchen sink at them, tried to win the game. You opened yourself up to be scored the other way. And then, they scored a couple, very late in the piece. Papley went crazy. And, I mean, the midfield, again, sort of is the narrative. You've got the best midfield in the competition versus probably one of the worst midfields in the competition. I say that with the utmost respect, but more so the reality, I'd say more than anything. If you just put the names out there versus, the Sydney midfield there, they were able to curtail the Swans midfield for a good quarter and a half. But then, that Heaney, Warner went berserk and, individual brilliance. So, their midfields just keep hitting the scoreboard in a big way. And it seems to be, a massive advantage that they do have. And, their point of difference that might land them another premiership. So ultimately out of the game, I'm disappointed because when you get 6 goals up, you go, oh, hang on, this would be, if we kept this up, this would be a crazy win. So your expectations going into the game, cool, we'll lose by 8 goals. Sydney will have most of the play will have a crack, but to be that far up, 35 points up, lose by 30 is a massive turnaround. I mean, what do we do? Richmond up by 29 against us. We won by 30, so it's how it goes sometimes. But I'm disappointed, and I also don't like Sydney. They're my most hated club. But the best team in the comp showed why they are that. A lot more of the footy for Sydney, plus 60 with the ball inside 50s. I felt like we were about to have 80 with the amount of entries that we did have. But Sydney had that field position going in that second half, which helped them massively. Disposal efficiency, they were down on their average, but so were we. It was a high pressure game. Efficiency inside 50 was pretty even for both, which was 1 in every 2. It's just going straight through. Hit outs, Grundy got the nod there. Clearances, again, it's been the problem all season. Setting clearances, it felt like Sydney got 10 in a row, so we must have had a stack, like 8 or 9 in a row to start the game off. But they were, between the second and half of the second quarter and the third term, I don't recall us getting a setting clearances. Rope on him every time. We must have had 25 clearances. Stoppages around the ground, Sydney dominated in that area. Contested ball, Sydney plus 20 on the outside. Plus 20 for the Swans, no, plus 40. Can't read today. Turnovers more for Sydney, surprised by that. They did turn over a lot early. Interesting. Marks are pretty similar. Both had control of the game at times. Contested marks were even. We're in front for most of it. But weren't able to sort of go on with it. Out-tackled them just. Tackles inside 50. I was really pleased with this early on in the game. We just did not let them exit the defence. And then, that was, I suppose, a factor in the game where they were able to move the ball from half-back to their forward line pretty easily. And then also, the fears going into the game weren't unjustified. They happened. That ball movement from halfback, which is a concern for us, the dynamic midfield concern for us, and played out as expected. How it got there was after a big head start from us. All right, let's have a look at the votes, which are always a little bit trickier when you lose. I definitely had best on ground in mind, and I had another player in mind. But in terms of the one vote, I'm going to have to make this up on the run. All right, I've got it all sorted. Cool. I'll give Max Holmes the 3 votes. He had the 23 touches with a goal, 6 marks as well, 3 tackles, almost 600 metres gained, 6 clearances, if I didn't already mention that. From 80% game time, so again, he was terrific. Is that bull that we have that can just break the line whenever we need a sort of chop out. So I thought, he was brilliant on that standpoint. 2 votes, I'll go Tyson Stengel. He kicked 3 goals, 12 touches, 2 marks, 4 tackles. No, that is not Tyson Stengel. That is Jack Bowes. He had 2 tackles, clearance as well, goal assist. So 4 direct goals from Tice, He's featured in the votes pretty regularly this year. He's had a really good season, back to some of his best footy. His finishing works first class, and I felt like when we were up forward, he was the man that was doing the most damage. So I gave him the 2 votes. And the 1 vote I'm going to give to Jake Cole-Jasny. He had the 19 touches, 7 marks, 2 tackles, and also a clearance. I thought, he was really strong in the air for us, took some good contested marks. He was a brick down back for us. And I'm trying to think, I don't think he was on a Marty, so if I'm on a Marty, if he's on a Marty, I saw mostly decoding on a Marty. But yeah, I didn't think McDonald did much. I didn't think McLean did much. I think that was where he was at most of the time. Special shout out to Jez as well, he was good. Speaking of the devil, he kicked 21 touches, 8 marks, had a tackle as well. Yeah, it was good late for us, good early for us, not much in the middle, but yeah, he was always a little bit of a weapon for us. Was involved early, wasn't super effective with the ball, hence I didn't give him a vote. Was effective later on. O'Connor's game I thought was really good. He had the 16 touches, had 9 marks, 2 tackles, 3 clearances. He was clunking everything on the wing, and moved the ball really well for us. Tommy Stewart, I think we need to do a brain scan on Tom Stewart. He's since that concussion, he's been very ordinary. He had the 20 touches, and his kicks always looked great, but he turned some over that were horrible. That's not what you need from your captain. 5 marks and a clearance, so I'm disappointed. He's much better than that. I understand he had the tag, which if he's getting tagged every week, throw him in the midfield, Chris. Just do something a bit different. We're struggling there anyway. Why not? Zach Guthrie can play the Tom Stewart role. Mentioned about Colo, who played well. Tommy Atkins cracks in always, 20 touches, 4 marks, 7 tackles, 3 clearances, and 2 goal assists. So, he had a pretty decent game, all considering 65% game time. So they're definitely, resting up these midfielders for hopefully a rocket fire back half of the season. We'll wait and see how that all pans out. It's always in the future. We're always looking forward. We need to win some games as well, while sitting at 8-5 at the moment. Mitchie Duncan was all right. He had the 19 touches, 6 marks. He was definitely involved quite heavily throughout the field, but some of his kicking was a little bit off. So hopefully we can get Mitch kicking a little bit better than what he has been. We know he's really good at that. Brian Myers had the 16 touches, kicked a goal, 6 marks, couple of tackles, goal assist. Was really good early, and then got tagged out of the game. So, he found it pretty tough with the tag. Jackie Bowes kicked 2 goals, 14 touches, 2 marks, 4 tackles, 3 clearances. So, I mean, on the offensive front, really good, but just in fact of getting the ball, you don't see Heaney get 15 touches, you don't see Warner get, 16 touches or whatever. We've unfortunately got far too many blokes that just get 15 touches, 17 touches, and your midfielders need to be getting 25, and we're just not getting that, unfortunately. It's going to be great in a couple of years' time when these guys do rack up those numbers, but by way of just people's age and development, they're not able to be consistent for the full game. Over to Jai Clark, I thought cracked in well, had the 16 touches, took a mark as well, 4 tackles, a clearance, goal assist. Definitely tried his heart out, had a good crack at it. But hopefully we can get more of the ball in his hands as we go. Stanley's game was interesting. It was probably symbolic of how we played, really. He was very good early when we were good. He was clunky marks. He's playing really well. But then, it faded significantly, and Grundy, took over the game, really. He had the 8 touches, 3 marks, 3 tackles, 3 clearances. Not a lot of meterage gained, but that's not unusual for a ruckman. Jack Henry was all right. He had the 12 touches, 7 marks, a tackle, took some good clunks. I think he was playing on not McDonald. I think he was on McLean. He was either on McLean or McDonald. All I know is Amadi was on De Koning, and De Koning played not very well. But we'll get into that. O'Sheen had 15 touches, 3 marks, 2 tackles, a clearance, again like most of the side. Really good early, and they played him in the guts. And we're getting results. Faded out. Papley got off the chain a bit. He was on Papley. Not sure if he could do a hell of a lot with the supply that came through, but defence was lacking a little bit as the game wore on, and it got really tough. Zach Guthrie was just okay for us. He had the 13 touches, 3 marks, 3 tackles from his 85% game time. Again, he didn't have the best day at the office. I don't know who he's playing on exactly. Like these small defenders, it's very hard to see who they play on unless you watch the replay 5 times. Ollie Dempsey was relatively quiet, couldn't get his hands on the ball as much as he previously has. Had the 14 possessions, 4 marks, couple of tackles, 80% game time, didn't get a stack of it. Broke close, kicked a goal, had the 9 touches, 2 marks, 4 tackles, 2 goal assists, and a clearance. Knows how to set his teammates up in really good spots. Ultimately ended up contributing to 3 goals for the team. Quieter on his lofty stands, usually gets at 12 to 15, but just a little bit quieter than usual. Blitz had 80% game time, and he had 9 disposals, 6 marks, tackle, a little bit of ruck work. Hopefully we can get some more of the ball in Blitz's hands. Usually he's intercepting quite well, or just minimising the impact of the opposition midfield, but just don't feel like I see him enough. So I want to see more of Blitz getting the ball and using the ball. Broome was quiet. They only had 61% game time, so we're struggling in the midfield, and all these midfielders are not playing prime minutes, so I'm not really sure on what the go is there. It might be to preserve them for later in the year. I don't know. I'm not the coach, so I don't know what's don't know what the ultimate plan is. But we'll see. 13 disposals for Tanner. He had the mark, 5 clearances. Again, just not enough of the footy to be able to put us in a really good winning position. De Koning had the 10 touches, 3 marks. Not much meterage gain, but under pressure he's clunky. Amadi was the only threat up forward really for them outside of Papley in that second half. Heaney, Warner, we're tough in that midfield standpoint, but De Koning, gosh, he's horribly out of form and has been out of form for the last year and a half. His 2022 form has escaped him for good, it feels. Scratch was quiet. He kicked a goal, had the 3 touches, 2 tackles, clearance. Tough game to get a lot of the ball. But he's definitely quiet by his lofty standards. Rowan came on as a sub late in the game, had the 3 kicks, took a mark, and also a couple of tackles. So good pressure from Rowan when he was on the ground. And if you just scroll to the top, thank you. All right, let's have a look. We've got the bye next week, so we won't talk about the bye because we shouldn't be losing that. Yep, that is correct. And then we will be placing up against Carlton Friday night at the MCG. Carlton's home ground, so it was our home game last time at the MCG against the Blues. Won by 13 points. Kicked relatively accurately as well. I said at the start of the year that we'll beat Carlton once out of the 2, but we're not going to beat them 2 out of 2. I still think that's true, especially that they're back into some better form. The way in which we won, our defence was amazing on the night, but I don't think that's... I've been concerned all year that how sustainable that is. So I expect Carlton to win, especially with that midfield, and they've got a few of their players back that weren't playing in this game. Hopefully Dangerfield and Guthrie back into this game. We'll wait and see. So, it's going to be a pretty tough assignment, especially, the Blues got their tails up, playing some ripping footy, back to some really good form. We're only just going at the moment. We'll be better for the run with Dangerfield and Guthrie in if they come back, which I suspect that they will, assuming no hiccups. So it might be our strongest team for the year as well. But I think, Carlton's strongest team is, just a little bit too good for us, especially at the MCG. In front of what could be 85,000, 90,000. So There we go. Excuse me. So thanks for putting up with my voice. It's definitely had its challenges this week. It's been a monstrous week that's just gone. But that's all she wrote, folks. It was Sydney by 30, puts us to 8 and 5, sitting 5th on the table, and then we got the bye next week. So hopefully hang around in that top 8. We'll wait and see. But yeah, and I feel I don't like losing any game, but yeah, I'm feeling like things will be better with Guthrie and Dangerfield in the side. Does that solve every problem in the world? I don't think it does, but you can just have that one guy that rocks up in the midfield. So Guthrie and Dangerfield at their absolute best can definitely mount some challenges, but to be relying on guys that are 33, 34, 35 years old to just be the guys to do it will only get you so far. So hopefully that takes the pressure off the guys that have been relied on pretty heavily at the moment, and then it allows them to naturally shine while they're not being the man at the moment, which they're proving to be since those guys have been injured. So yeah, fingers crossed we can just hang in there, and yeah, we need to win pretty shortly. Otherwise, the season's going to be slipping away from us very quickly. We're 1 and 5 in the last 6 weeks, so we're in horrible form at the moment, and need to get out of it. So yeah, that's all. That's all from me. Guys, interested to hear your thoughts on the game, so comment any thoughts you have on the game and Geelong season moving forward. Hit the video a like if you enjoyed the review. Subscribe so you can keep up to date with each of the reviews that I post each and every week when the Cats play. And I have a crack at AFL tipping as well, which that's always fun to see me have a crack at that too. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll catch you on the next video.